Pulp Fiction. Late one morning in the Hawthorne Grill, a restaurant on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, a young couple, Honey Bunny, Amanda Plummer, and Pumpkin, Tim Roth, discussed the pros and cons of robbing banks versus liquor stores. Then they add restaurants to the equation, realizing they can make more by taking customers' wallets than they get out of the till. The two kiss, declare they love each other, and stand up in their booth, announcing that they're robbing the diner. Earlier in the day, Jules Winfield, Samuel L. Jackson, and Vincent Vega, John Travolta, arrive at a San Fernando Valley apartment building. They are hitmen in the employ of Marcellus Wallace and have come to retrieve a valuable belonging of Wallace's from a group of would-be crooks led by a young and naive guy named Brett, Frank Whaley. They take back the valuable item kept in a briefcase. It glows warmly and transfixes whoever looks at it. Jules recites what he claims is a Bible verse, Ezekiel 25:17, before he and Vincent execute Brett. Story number 1. Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife. At his strip club, Marcellus Wallace, Ving Rhames, pays boxer Butch Coolidge, Bruce Willis, to throw his next fight. Jules and Vincent arrive. Though it's only a few hours after their visit to the valley, the two hit men are sporting gym clothes in place of the suits they wore earlier in the day. While Jules heads to the men's room, Vincent goes to the bar and encounters Butch. The men take an instant disliking to each other. Vincent insults Butch, but before Butch can retaliate, Marcellus calls Vincent over and embraces him. Marcellus is leaving town that evening and Vincent is to take Marcellus' wife, Uma Thurman, out for dinner to keep her entertained. Rumors abound that Marcellus gravely wounded another associate, Antoine, who he believed had been improperly friendly with Mia, so Vincent is nervous. Before picking Mia up, he visits his drug dealer, Lance, Eric Stoltz, and buys some high-quality heroin. Properly sedated, he escorts the cocaine-addicted, chain-smoking Mia to Jack Rabbit Slim's, a West Hollywood 1950s themed restaurant. After some small talk about European travel, Mia's failed acting career, foot massage, and the rumors about Antoine, which Mia dispels, Mia enters herself and Vincent in a dance contest. They dance the twist and win a trophy. After dinner, they return to the Wallace's home. Vincent goes to the bathroom to talk himself out of making a pass at Mia. Meanwhile, she discovers the baggie of heroin in his coat pocket, and assuming it's cocaine, snorts some. She immediately passes out and begins to foam at the mouth. Panicked, Vincent takes the dying Mia to Lance's where they argue about what to do with her. Following Lance's advice, Vincent is able to revive her with a shot of adrenaline administered straight to the heart. Vincent takes Mia home. They agree not to tell Marcellus what happened since both of them would get in trouble for it. Story number 2. The Gold Watch. The following night, before his fight, Butch dreams of an incident from his childhood. Back at his Tennessee home in 1973, Captain Coons, Christopher Walken, visited Butch to bring him a gold watch. The watch had belonged to Butch's great-grandfather, who took it to World War I with him. Butch's grandfather had taken it to World War II, and Butch's father to Vietnam. Butch's father died as a POW, but gave the watch to Coons to return to Butch. Coons says that he and Butch's father had to hide the watch in their rectums to keep it away from their captors. Butch reaches up with his hand and takes the watch from Coons. Butch wakes from the dream. Instead of throwing the match, off-screen, he fights so viciously that he kills his opponent. He took Marcellus' money and betted on himself. His winnings will amount to a small fortune. Butch makes small talk with Esmeralda, Angela Jones, the driver of the cab he is in, who reveals that she knows he's the boxer who killed his opponent. She seems fascinated with the topic of death. Esmeralda drives Butch to the seedy motel where he and his French girlfriend, Fabienne, Maria de Medeiros, are staying, having abandoned their apartment. In the morning they will travel to Butch's hometown of Knoxville, Tennessee, claim their winnings, and leave the country. While packing the next morning, however, Fabienne reveals that she forgot the gold watch, the belonging Butch cherishes above all others. After a savage outburst in which he wrecks the motel room's television, Butch takes Fabian's car to get the watch, parking a few blocks away and walking through a vacant lot to his apartment building as a precaution. He enters without incident and finds his wristwatch in the bedroom. He realizes he's not alone in the apartment when he notices a submachine gun in the kitchen. Catching Vincent off guard as he emerges from the bathroom, Butch kills him with the gun he found. He leaves his apartment after wiping the gun down with a tissue to remove his fingerprints. Leaving the apartment with his watch, Butch encounters Marcellus crossing the street. He tries to run Marcellus over with his car, but only wounds him and is hit by another car himself. Both are injured and Marcellus chases Butch into a pawn shop. There, the owner, Maynard Dwayne Whitaker, overpowers them. Marcellus and Butch wake up in the basement of the pawn shop, bound and gagged. Maynard has called his cousin Zed, Peter Green, who works as a security guard. Maynard and Zed are apparently a pair of redneck serial killers who kill passers-by who happen into their store. While the gimp, Stephen Hibbert, a huge man-child dressed head to toe in black leather fetish gear, watches Butch, Maynard and Zed take Marcellus into the next room and begin to rape him. Butch manages to break the ropes and chair holding him and knocks out the gimp. Ready to leave the pawn shop and Marcellus to his fate, Butch has an attack of conscience and procures a samurai sword and rescues Marcellus. In the process, Maynard is killed and Zed emasculated by a shotgun blast fired by Marcellus. Marcellus stays behind to oversee the torture execution of Zed. "I'ma get medieval on your ass," he tells him, but promises that as long as Butch never mentions what happened and never returns to Los Angeles, Marcellus will forget that Butch betrayed him in the boxing ring. Butch agrees. In the final scene, Butch and Fabian leave town on Grace, Zed's chopper-style motorcycle. Story number 3, The Bonnie Situation. 3 days earlier, flashing back in time to just after Vincent and Jules finish killing Brett for stealing Marcellus' prized possession, a gang member, Alexis Arquette, they had not known about, bursts out of the bathroom where he had apparently been when Jules and Vincent entered and empties a large pistol point blank at them. However, all of the bullets miss Vincent and Jules, hitting the wall behind them, so they return fire and kill the gang member. Jules is certain what occurred was divine intervention, but Vincent dismisses the idea. They leave with Marvin, Phil Lamar, Marcellus' inside man in the gang. In the car, Jules continues his insistence that what happened in the apartment was a miracle and that he's retiring from Marcellus' gang. Vincent leans over the front seat, asking Marvin if he believes in miracles, but accidentally shoots him in the head and kills him. The inside of the car is now covered in blood and brain matter. Jules, furious at Vincent's klutziness, drives to the house of his only friend in the valley, a former colleague named Jimmy, Quentin Tarantino. Jimmy lets them hide the car in his garage but angrily tells them that they have to get rid of the body within an hour before his wife Bonnie comes home from her night shift at a hospital. Jules calls Marcellus at his home to explain their predicament. Marcellus then calls Winston Wolfe, Harvey Keitel, a suave and professional cleaner who solves problems. Wolfe arrives at Jimmy's house and tells Vincent and Jules how to clean up the car and themselves. They have to strip out of their business suits, be sprayed down with a garden hose and wear Jimmy's spare t-shirts and shorts, which explains their attire at the strip club, then helps them dispose of the car and body at a junkyard belonging to a discreet friend named Monster Joe, whose daughter is Mr. Wolfe's girlfriend. With the whole situation resolved, Jules and Vincent decide to have breakfast at the Hawthorne Grill, where they continue their discussion about miracles. Jules reveals his plan to leave his criminal life and travel the globe as a mendicant, helping those suffering under tyranny. Vincent, upset that his friend and partner is leaving the life, mocks him, then goes to the bathroom. Just then Honey Bunny and Pumpkin, from the prologue, begin their robbery of the diner. They furiously collect the cash from the register and the patrons' wallets. Jules gives Pumpkin his wallet, but when Pumpkin tries to take Marcellus' briefcase, Jules pulls his gun and disarms Pumpkin. While Vincent holds Honey Bunny at bay, Jules explains to Pumpkin how, even earlier that morning, he would have killed Pumpkin and Honey Bunny without a second thought. He recites his ersatz version of Ezekiel 25 verse 17 again. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. Jules explains that while he previously thought it was cool to make such a cold-blooded passage the last thing his victims heard, he now realizes that the tyranny of evil men part of the passage refers to him, and he intends to become a better person. He and Vincent allow Honey Bunny and Pumpkin to leave with all the money but not the briefcase. They leave the diner themselves and head to Marcella's strip club.